Welcome to the Horrorcraft Podcast.
Hello, horror fans. It's me, Cass Ann,
Kylie.
and we are the Horrorcraft Podcast, and this is Horrorcraft Reviews. And today we're talking about an independent film. We're talking about the R.I.P. Man. It is a 2025 British independent film. It centers on the idea of a serial killer who targets like wealthy, affluent, young teenagers and for specific purposes that are pretty grisly. And a detective and a young man kind of form together to try to figure out what's going on and uh, uncover what's going on behind R.I.P. Man. So, um, this movie, I will preface this by saying I am never going to be somebody that is going to come on this platform and tear an independent film down. And we're certainly not going to do it with this one. However, I will preface it by saying that I did not particularly, I don't feel like this was my certain brand of horror movie. Um,
Same here. I
and
have to
so
agree.
that might affect our scoring, but I would highly encourage anybody who is interested in the idea behind this to go check it out. It is available on demand right now, and form an opinion for yourself. So I will say I liked the concept behind the serial killer. Um,
Yeah,
the choice to make it where he had this genetic condition that um, caused him to act a certain way and like he had trauma because of it, and that's why he targeted and did the things he did. I think that was really cool. I like the
yeah,
story building behind that. I like that aspect. Um, I do want to say I did enjoy the detective character out of
yeah, I liked him a
anybody.
lot.
I thought,
Yeah,
yeah, I thought he was probably the better one. Um, the thing that just didn't really work for me is none of the characters besides the R.I.P. man and the detective I really felt invested in. And maybe this was
yeah.
just a whole thing of like pacing with the movie and trying to get so much in a movie. I do know that there is the possibility that they're going to be doing a second one.
Yes, I
Maybe that
believe
will
it is
be,
in pre-production, I do think. So maybe it'll be able to kinda
yeah.
expand in that realm a little bit more. It kind of felt like a weird Terrifier to me. Um, but it was just kinda slow paced. It didn't really pick up until like an hour in once you kinda discovered the motive of the R.I.P. man and why he was doing what he was doing. I do think that there was a nice little twist, um, at the end a little bit. But yeah, it was okay, it just wasn't for us.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like it just had some really good ingredients. I would love to see how they expand upon it in the future.
Yeah,
Um, and I do like the different approach to like the serial killer and the motives behind
yeah,
it and the way that they kind of built up his story. I would love to see if they when they do come out with a second one, how they kind of build upon that and if they flesh that out in different ways. I guess we will see um how that goes. But I just feel like overall it was all right, but it just wasn't something it wasn't my particular style of movie, and that's okay. But I do think for an independent movie, it has a solid concept it has a really
Definitely.
good yeah. Yeah, it has a really good identity to where it's at, and so I would definitely encourage people to check it out. But if you could give it a rating out of 10, what would you give it?
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I feel like there are some very solid pieces in there. I think just I would like to see, like I said, them expanded upon. I'd like to see them dive into deeper things and maybe just have just like a deeper character growth for certain, like if
Yeah.
when they do introduce different characters in the next one. Just because for me, like when they introduced I wasn't emotionally attached to any of these characters. I was
Yeah.
like
But
all
that could
the
also
characters once they
be
got picked up.
they could have been doing that intentionally, we don't know.
And if that's the case, I applaud them for that. And I think that's a great choice, but that's just not something for me that works in a horror movie. I want to be somewhat invested in a character, at least some of the characters in a movie
Same here.
before
Same
we
here.
start
I'm the
picking
same way.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we start picking off like mass quantities of them. So,
Yeah.
but I would highly encourage people to check it out. Like I said, it is on demand right now. And we want to thank the R.I.P. Man team for sending it over to us. And
Yes.
we appreciate their endeavors in making this movie and bringing us a different concept of a serial killer. So
Absolutely.
until next time, it's me, Cass,
Kylie.
and this is Horrorcraft Reviews, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.